Hi everyone, my name is Celine and welcome to our seventh and final session in our webinar series on Super Dads, Super Kids. If you missed the previous sessions, no worries, you can always go back and watch them, but each session is designed to stand on its own. Now the whole series of Super Dads, Super Kids was developed by Dad Central and is focused on responsible fathers, men who make a conscious choice to be the solid role model kids are longing for and need today. Now, today's session is designed to discuss some ways of managing the stress that can come with being a dad, as well as ways to manage our priorities, values, and time. We're all trying to balance the responsibilities of our lives, regardless of family structure, employment status, or age of our children. Thankfully, super dads don't have everything together in their lives. Nobody does. But they are open about their situations and do what they can to be there as a credible influence in their child's life. Now, parenting takes a lot of time, commitment, and wisdom. So in order to deal with the stress of being a dad, two things need to happen. The first is an assessment of the dad's value. What's important to him? Stress can come from putting energy into things that don't matter. The second thing that needs to happen is an assessment of dad's priorities, how he chooses what to do with his time and resources. Stress can come from doing things that conflict with what's important. So I want to start by giving you the opportunity to reflect and identify sources of stress for you and your family. Stressors could be lack of time, relationship with mom or partner, getting chores done, work, or even demands from your children. So at this point, you can pause this webinar, write down the sources of stress for you and your family, and then resume when you're ready. Now, none of us can avoid stress. Life is stressful, but depending on our perception, stress can actually be good for us. It's a natural part of being human. However, there is a difference between good stress and toxic stress. And a great first step in dealing with toxic stress is identifying and acknowledging the root causes of it through self-reflection. Now, self-reflection gives us the opportunity to define what our goals, values, and priorities are. To help define what your values are as a dad, I want you to think of one word or phrase you want your child to use to describe you. What will you do to show this word or phrase to your child? How will you prove to your child you are and will be this way? Think of things you may do or attitudes you will show your child. For example, if you want your child to describe you as a dad who's compassionate, how will you show compassion? If you want your child to describe you as a dad who has integrity, what will show your child that you have integrity? At this point in the webinar, you can pause, write down your thoughts, and resume when you're ready. So how'd that activity go for you? I know for me, one word to describe my dad is loving. And growing up, he proved this to me by being present, giving me lots of hugs, listening to me and comforting me when I was upset, and taking the time to create family traditions that have led to so many great memories for me. Now, when it comes to the way we spend our time, our life is often filled with the small stuff first. Those things we think we can get done quickly, or even material possessions. Then we try to get the things done that do matter in our life, such as work or school. However, this often leaves us without time or energy for the most important things in our lives, such as our family, kids, or our health. But when we start with the things that are most important, we often find that the other things fit in much easier. The rest finds space. That's why it's so important to identify what your priority is and to keep the main thing the main thing. Otherwise, the little things in life start to take over. I know for many of you, spending time with your children is the priority. However, the reality is that non-custodial fathers will have limited choice in terms of amount of time with their children. Dads needing to work 2 or 3 jobs or long hours at one job will not have much choice in the amount of time with their families. Dads with busy kids may not feel they have much to say about the amount of time they spend together, while dads on paternity leave will experience the joy and the strain of balancing their time. The point is to try and think about ways to be creative with the time you do have and to make that time worthwhile. Because thankfully, it's not necessarily the amount of time you have with your kids, but what you do with the time that you're given. So, how can we plan our time to bring balance to our family and life? Like we've discussed, one way to bring balance to life and reduce some stress is to set your priorities. Look at the different things that fill your time. It could be family, work, or free time, and rank this in order of priority. Secondly, plan your family time. Make time for your children. Do this by proclaiming it, telling your family about it, protecting it, doing your best to not let other priorities sneak in, and preserving it, keeping it going and making it a habit. To help bring balance, you need to say no to non-essential things. These are different for everyone, but it's important that dads consider what some of their unique, non-essential things are that take up their time. Taking regular breaks is also super important to maintain balance in your life. We work better when we break regularly. Limiting distractions is also key, especially when doing the things that are most important to you. You may want to ask yourself what some of your distractions are and how you can limit them. Another way to bring balance to your life is to be creative with your downtime. And finally, let your family know that you are thinking about them by calling them, writing them notes, or even putting up pictures of them in the places you spend most of your time. Now, in conclusion, if you have any questions or would like resources highlighting what we have discussed today, please email me at earlyon.admin@niagara.ymca.ca. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I hope you have enjoyed this webinar series. Bye for now.